Alright, so Disney and the prize that they gave us. So let's start with, I would say, let's start with Wild Force because Wild Force technically was still under Saban's rule. Even though I do have questions on that because if you look at Time Force, at the end of Time Force, the last episode, they show Power Rangers, Wild Force, Power Rangers, Wild Force, Power Rangers, Wild Force. That's exactly what they did. And then it went from that to Wild Force, Power Rangers, da 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 da. Totally different from what I just heard. So, it's question on did they actually have Disney this whole time doing it, or is the fact that since they planned in the beginning to actually give it to Disney, Disney was able to say, you know what, since this is gonna be ours anyways, we want you to do this soundtrack and not that soundtrack. I'm not sure. I don't know what happened when it came to giving us a preview of the next season with their actual theme song versus the theme song we got. This is the first time ever that I actually can say those two are so different. It's not even funny. So I'm just going to exclude them, but I'll leave a question on did Disney actually have a little authority or a little influence in Wild Force? You be the judge, man. Go ahead and look. I'll tell you the truth. I might even do a mashup of it too. That means I have to download Wild Force theme song. Ugh. Alright, so we have Ninja Storm. And I would say I'm not surprised on that one. They actually had the talking guinea pig. They actually had him computer generated, unlike in the original stock footage, which they just had an actual hamster. The other amazing thing is the fact that he actually had a daughter, not a son. And they switched that too and actually made him the Sixth Ranger, even though I don't even know the story of the Sixth Ranger. They did a good job basically hiding the fact that the Sixth Ranger actually might have died. So they did a good job on hiding that. I would say at least, even though it was a little bit silly for its own good, like a little silly influence on it, I would say it did have a good storyline. Personally, it did have a good storyline. There's really nothing goofy they could have done in this one because the original footage was very straightforward. The only goofy part was the fact that their master turned into a guinea pig. That's it. Which is interesting, the fact that they went, which that's what you expect Disney to do. Disney to actually take that and turn it a little bit cartoony into something that's a little bit more interesting than having a hamster that you have to train and stuff, or at least hope to God that the stupid hamster, the stupid guinea pig looks at the camera at a certain point. Yeah. Or I think they technically did like he was speaking through his mind instead of actually talking. So, yeah, you had that, and then you have Dino Thunder. Dino Thunder. What the heck? What the heck? They did a good job. They actually brought back Jason David Frank, which was very, oh my gosh, no freaking way. That's one thing. There was no freaking way on that one. The fact that they had a guy that knew Tommy Oliver, he actually was his coworker or something. Yeah. Shoot, I should actually have went back to Wild Force and talked about. Yeah, I'm not gonna touch it. Okay, never mind. I'm not touching it. This is about Disney. So in the original one, they had the morphers that can talk. The fact that the Zords can talk, the morphers can talk. Why not Disney? I thought that was basically above That was actually on your playground. That was on your field. That's something that you most likely would have done is have it talk. I would figure you would have done that. But instead, you left them silent. You took out their voice box and said no. They don't get to talk. Which I'm shocked as frick that you didn't actually just take excuse me, that you didn't actually just take it from what the original one had, which is the fact that they came from a different planet, and the fact that the Black Ranger was actually an alien. Yeah. Excuse me. But I do have some fond moments. The only messed up things were two things. Number one, they screwed up on the White Rangers thing because, well, they wanted to hide a Power Ranger death. That's the first time that they were like, oh my gosh, a Ranger died. Oh my gosh, what we're gonna do? Oh my gosh, how we're gonna hide this? And someone was like, I know how to hide this. And it turns out that he had a stupid idea, or she had a stupid idea how to hide it. The fact that there was two White Rangers eventually. The fact that you have the evil White Ranger that came from Trent, and Trent is a White Ranger, but I don't know. Yeah, it just gone stupid. I'm sorry, it just gone stupid because that's the worst ever. They had to hide a Power Ranger death. I mean, seriously, they could have thought of something very, very thoughtful. Like, for instance, yet again, it's like the whole Green Ranger loses his powers. Yeah, I would rather you have done the whole Green Ranger loses his powers thing again. It's the fact that I'm so supercharged, and then it turns out that the charge lasts for a while, all the way until. And if you wanted to, you basically could have just done the fact of the Zord took his morpher. He's like, hey, come back. And then as soon as the Zord went into the sky, boom, it destroyed itself, basically saving him from the defective morpher. So that basically, that could have solved everything, even though Trent would be basically like, oh my gosh, it blew up. You're like, oh my gosh. And then basically it would bring the thought of maybe the Zords have feelings. Maybe these Zords are totally different from what Tommy ever had to deal with. Something like that. That's all I have to say. That's basically all. And they could have referenced how it seems like they're like Lost Galaxy and Wild Force. The fact that, yeah, the Zords have feelings of their own, and that actually will start him on his own thing, even though technically his storyline got screwed over too because he had some conference things to do. So, yeah. I bet it could have been better if he didn't really have as much stuff. They should have called him a year early when they're like, hey, we want you to come back on Power Rangers. He basically is like, sure. And then hopefully it was basically, he cleared out his whole entire schedule for that year just to help them out. Instead of basically had some meetings to do and everything, and basically he did over the phone voiceovers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was kind of that bad. It was kind of bad. Still, you could have made the Morphers talk. That was basically that was you, Disney. That could have been you. That could have been you. No one could have actually been like, "Oh my gosh, I don't believe they did this," because hey, it's you, Disney. You do kooky things. You do crazy things. You made a freaking hamster talk and walk and wear clothes. So why not do the Morpher thing? Oh, and the worst part about it is the fact that they actually put an episode of the original stock footage, which that actually opened my eyes to actually realize, so they get this from something else. So it's not really that original. It's actually just something from, which later on I did some looking, which I'll get to that. Yeah, I'll get to that because that reaches the end of what they did. But yeah, I still don't believe they did that. I don't believe they did that at all. I don't believe it. Oh my gosh, you guys are stupid idiots. I I don't even understand why in the world they did that. What, for a laugh? A shout out? I wouldn't have done a shout out. I couldn't do it because basically that just reveals, hey, there's something else you can watch instead of this if you don't like it. That's basically what you said, even though you kind of maybe tried to repel us to the fact of how crazy it was. And I tried to look for that episode. I can't find it. Yeah, if you know which episode of Abba Ranger was, please comment, tell me what it was, so I can look at it and be like, oh, no freaking way. Or basically be the fact of, oh, so they called freaking Toei. They called Toei Productions, tell them, hey, we need you to make a new episode for Abba Ranger. So that basically means everyone who likes Abba Ranger actually could have got an extra episode, which I hope they did. I hope they did it. That later on, maybe they actually gave them a DVD that actually had that episode on there, so they could basically be like, "What? I thought I saw all the episodes, but here's one more." No. Yeah. Which, technically, if they actually did make that and that was actually a new episode, then wouldn't Akiba Ranger have mentioned that during their. Oh, wait, no. They were talking about during Savan's reign. So, never mind. They wouldn't have talked about it. Alright, then after that, yeah, SPD. I'm shocked that. Well, SPD, they didn't really have anything truly to do it. They did do the dog. They did do the dog as the president, as the chief. They did do that. They actually did do that. Yeah, they did do that. Oh, okay. They did do that, so yeah. They did do that. They did have a cat. Technically, I haven't really watched Deca Ranger, so I don't know if they did anything else that was crazy. Chances are, I don't think so. So, yeah. Actually, no. There was one crazy lady that most likely was a secretary or something that did Abba, 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 Abba Ranger. I think actually, no, that was actually one of the Rangers who did that. So, yeah, I think that was the Pink Ranger that did that. So, yeah. They did show, yeah, they did kind of did unique. They did put some uniqueness in there. The fact that the Red Ranger is able to do something, the Green Ranger is able to do something, the Pink Ranger, the Blue Ranger. So I guess it would technically, if I would have do the versus thing, which I will do later, it would be the Pink Ranger's tick of that versus the Green Ranger's buttery thing. Which that was like one thing I was like, okay, that's weird. The fact that he enjoys buttered toast and he enjoys lots and lots of butter on his toast. I guess that's what we're supposed to get out of that. Okay, well, anyways. After that was Mystic Force. Mystic Force, personally, I would say was okay. But I would have rather they actually did have them brother, sister, everything. Yeah, I would rather they have every single thing Maji Ranger was. The fact that they're all brothers and sisters instead of there is a hidden family within, but yeah. I didn't really look at, like I said in the previous one, Maji Ranger I was only able to watch to 20, so yeah, I didn't get to see all of it. That's basically on that one. There's really nothing they could have done on that one besides make them a family and have a silly plant, which I would rather not have that silly plant. Instead of having a silly plant, they had a blonde girl, a blonde wench. Let's say that, a blonde wench that was a somewhat Power Ranger, even though she wasn't really a Power Ranger. Yeah, we don't even know what to call her because, well, she was no ranger. She was like a mystic, yeah, a mystical being. Yeah, they all mystical beings, it turns out. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. I don't think there's any other crazy things they could have done. Okay, after that, it was Overdrive, which Bokinger, I couldn't do it. I mean, technically, Overdrive screwed over Bokinger, even though I did watch when the Sixth Ranger came in. The fact that how it kind of was parallel to what they were doing in the. Yeah, they both were parallel when it came to it. So, yeah, that's one thing that was interesting. As for Bokinger period, I couldn't do it. I mean, as soon as I watched Overdrive, it was like I couldn't do it, even though I liked the Yellow Ranger. Yellow Ranger was cool in that one. I enjoyed her. Yeah, it's kind of funny that I enjoyed that Yellow Ranger, but the same type of Yellow Ranger that was in that one was also in Lightspeed Rescue, and yet I didn't care too much about her. I guess it's because of the lucky item she had and how unbelievable it was. And it's like, dang. Yeah, let's scratch that from the record. But I enjoyed her just like I enjoyed the Wild Force Yellow Ranger. And why not? Let's go throughout the list too of liking because I was going to do a video, which I guess I'll do it after this one. Yeah, since I'm gonna do it after this one, I'm not gonna go into any more depth on that one. I'm just gonna continue on. So Overdrive, shoot, the fact that you have a millionaire, a billionaire who has Power Ranger stuff, and you have a kind of funny butler, and you have a son that later on turns to become an android. What the what? He's an android? What the heck, man? Oh, and the sword person in the other one, he was kind of funny and stupid, but in this one, that guy pissed me off. I'm sorry, but that sword dude pissed me off when Once a Ranger episode came. Oh, which I guess I can actually talk about that too. It's the fact that they basically gathered a few Rangers. Most likely, they called a few people, see if they could do it. They got Xander, the Green Ranger from Mystic Force. They got the buttery dude from SPD, the Green Ranger that turned into the Red Ranger. They got Terra from Dino Thunder. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else. I don't want to say the other one before I got to the other one. Shoot. I'm missing someone. I know I'm missing someone. No, I think I got it. Did I miss? Yeah, I didn't mention Ninja Storm, the girl from Ninja Storm. They got the Blue Ranger from Mystic from Ninja Storm, and they got Adam back. Which I'm just gonna have to say, if you gonna, since they technically sent and it was started in Power Rangers in space, that's when Adam first wanted to. They made the storyline of Adam wanting to still be a Ranger, still rock it. And then after that, they basically had him come back in this one. I basically am now saying, why not give him a series of his own? Which is why I guess I'm going to have to keep it up here now. The Saban's Dino Charge, I technically wanted Adam to be a part of that. Yeah, since he wants to be a Ranger so badly, I say, why not give him one more series where he can actually be the head honcho on it. He doesn't have to be the Red Ranger. He's just going to be the figure, the mentor figure, which I don't know if it actually will fit because that means that he has to do archaeology as well. which it technically won't fit. I guess the other funny part is the fact that maybe you'll have Jason David Frank yet again come into this series, and basically that would be interesting. You have Jason David Frank who comes in one episode and say, "So, I've been doing some archaeology work and I found this ember." Yeah, that's kind of crazy. That would be kind of crazy. Anyways, yeah, that whole thing, the fact that they had Rita Repulsa and Lord Zed had a son, and technically it doesn't really work that well anyways because, well, I would say 1994, 1995, they might have had the baby, and then you have him in 2006. And then you had the whole thing of you fought him and contained him for 20 years. Technically, he would be 13 years old when that came out. Unless you have the idea of saying, oh, when he's 13, that basically is a monster 39 or 37 or something. I don't know how the frick you're going to piece that together because that didn't work. Yeah, you should have said he's been in prison since he was a kid. Yeah, when he first tried to attack. Well, let's stop right quick. Let's hold on the brakes right quick. It couldn't work anyways because what? So you sealed him up, and when Zordon got the sacrificial death thing, and he purified evil, even though technically, yeah, it must be a lower wave or something because it didn't really touch some other planets. Yeah, so I guess they must have learned about the whole sacrifice thing. The fact that they already calculated if he was sacrificed, how far you have to be from it not affecting you. Yeah, that's most likely. Could be one way of saying that. But even so, that means that technically the kid, unless you were stupid enough to have trapped him in a container that not even good magic or good aura can go in there. That means you were stupid as hell, and that means that you allowed freaking, I forgot his name because he's not really important because your stupid continuity doesn't work. That means that you were stupid enough to not allow the good magic to come to him and go inside him so he could be a normal kid. Instead, you allowed him to be contained, meaning that the aura or magic or whatever couldn't go into the container to purify him. Which means you're a stupid idiot. You're the reason why the Rangers lost their powers. And you should not talk down on them because, hey, you're the reason in the first place he exists. Because you're stupid enough to make a container that didn't allow Zordon's aura to come into him. So you're an idiot. You're a stupid idiot. And I swear, if you come on freaking Super Mega Force and your key's worth like $1, I will actually buy that key and then actually show me in a video stomping that key until it breaks. Yeah, that's how much I dislike the guy. Because of if you try to make it work, it basically shows that how much of a stupid idiot he really is. I'm sorry. But that's how it works if you try to fit it in continuity. But of course you can say, it was the kids show. Kids won't know yeah, technically, even if they ask their older siblings about it, they basically will, the older sibling will be like, what? And then he comes in there and listens to what the freaking stupid sword dude, which I don't even give a darn anymore of learning his name. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's basically all I have to say on that. The sword dude's a total idiot. I'm sorry. Alright, is there anything else that I forgot to mention? Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, so now we get to go to Jungle Fury. Oh my gosh. I looked at Geki Ranger, and I'm shocked that those fools. Geki Ranger technically is Disney. Geki Ranger would have been all Disney. Disney would have looked at that and been like, "Oh my gosh, we need that. Get that gorilla costume. Get that dog, wolf, the fox costume. Get all those costumes. Get those people that we have as whatever, whatever. Oh my gosh, that's what they should have been like. That's what they should have been like." I mean, they freaking had a Monkey Man in SPD. So why not have a Monkey Man in everything and all that? I mean, it's just basically kind of stupid on that. I don't believe. I really don't believe what was going on now when I found out. 1 second. Okay. Sorry, I had to tune in something. Whoa. Okay, anyways. We're on Jungle Fury. Jungle Fury technically should have been Geki Ranger all over again. I'm just saying the fact that it matches. The fact that you have people in costumes. It would have been funny. It was ridiculous. It was silly. But it also had a good plot. Which, that's what they should have had. Just looking, I guess it was okay. I mean, I technically liked the Yellow Ranger, but hey, the Blue Ranger had a crush on him, so hands off. So I was like, okay, whoa, go ahead, take her. Like, go ahead, take her. You had the freaking White Ranger who technically mirrored the guy, I suppose. The original guy, I guess he supposed he mirrored her. Him. He mirrored him. Even though technically he has a sister. Yeah, the White Ranger should have had a sister, and that's who he saved from that thing, even though, well, I guess the worst part of all is the fact that instead of that, they basically made the freaking goofy glasses the morphers, which I personally would have been like, alright, let's find some glasses that look just like those. Okay. All we got to do is have it a little bit electronic thing in there. Maybe just have it go. Maybe even just have it go to. Maybe have the theme song instrumental on those when you press those. Yeah, just have 3 things. So basically, if you press on those glasses, it'll make the tune, the instrumental of it. If you press it once, maybe you say, what was it? Oh, Spirit Unleashed. Yeah, Jungle Fury Spirit Unleashed or something. Oh, Jungle Beast Spirit Unleashed. That's what basically the glasses was to say, along with something else. Depending on which glasses you have, blue or yellow, it might actually have their voice in it. That's what basically I would use. And I will sell those, which chances are maybe the electronics would be a little bit pricey. It will be a little bit, but I bet chances are I can actually get a bunch of those made and maybe sell them for $10 and get lots and lots of money, and maybe even have sunglasses that are like those, but they don't have anything on them. There's $1, so they can get ones with sounds on them for $10, or get normal ones for $1. And I would have made up so much money. It wouldn't be funny at all. But it turns out the morpher was actually in their gloves. So the reason why their gloves matched and everything is because that's what really their morphers were in their gloves. But like I said, it's just like what happened with Dino Thunder. That's you, Disney. Talking morphers, people in costumes who can act. That's you, Disney. That's freaking you. Alright, then lastly is RPM. That's the last one. So RPM, you have Zords that can talk. They're from a different world. And yeah, basically you have Zords that can talk. Zords that can talk to you. It's like Dino Thunder over again, except instead of it's the morphers that talk, it's that you'll have a hologram of your Zord and actually will talk to you because of your engine cell. That is so you. That was so you. Even though you didn't keep the eyes, you kept the eyes on the Zords though. But that's so you. Oh yeah, you're forced to do it anyways. But I'm just saying, it's so freaking Disney. And yet they didn't do it, which I'm shocked that they didn't actually do it. I mean, come on, Disney. That's you. Talking Zords, people in outfits that's crazy, silliness. That's you, Disney, but you didn't do it. Apparently, I guess you thought Power Rangers was supposed to be very, very serious. Or, I don't know. Technically, I would say you should have done you. You shouldn't have been like, we have to make this very, very serious. Yeah, I mean, serious. That's you. That was you, Disney. That was freaking you. I guess the last one to end it all was Power Rangers Refurbished. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Refurbished Edition. Okay, Disney, that was you, but why the hell did you make 1990s look so horrible, so bad that I was like, okay, I remember the 90s and that's not the 90s. But yeah, they for 17 episodes, I think maybe even 20 episodes, they freaking took Power Rangers and said, alright, let's go back here in the backyard. It's like they basically, let's see what's a good one. Okay, let's say my Morphin Power Rangers was a cat. And it's a girl cat. They took it in the backyard and they milked it. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. And they tried to justify it. They tried to make it everything, but technically no. They milked it, tried to milk it all it's worth. They made some crappy merchandise. I did get the Megazord. Okay, I didn't get the Megazord. Yeah. I did get the Megazord. I thought technically they were going to end Power Rangers. They were. This is like either the second or third time that it's going to happen. Yeah, so I didn't get the Megazord. I did, but yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible what they did to the toys. And that's how Zord Builder got created, and that's how cheaper versions of the action figures were created. Well, first thought of. So yeah. That's basically it. That's basically how Disney didn't take their road and actually do it. Instead, they went serious instead of making it more ridiculous and more goofy the way that they would do because, hey, it's Disney. Disney do goofy. They do serious too, but they're more known for goofiness than seriousness. I'm just saying. Thank you for listening and peace out.